Hi everyone, it's Giorgia here and welcome to Be Colorful. In this second part I'm gonna create 3 more cards with the Tonic Craft Kit 41 and I will show you how to use the Nuvo Shimmer Powder. But first let me remind you that in all the Tonic Craft Kit we find the set of exclusive dies and stamps, a selection of Nuvo products, and a set of Craft Perfect cards, all match the theme of the kit. Dies and stamps cannot be bought separately, while all other products can be bought in the shops. I remind you that below in the description box you will find the list of all the products included in the kit and those not included that I will use during the video. Also, if you'd like more information about this monthly kit, I leave you the link to the Tonic Studios website down below in the description box. Okay, now let's create the card number 4. In the kit we find a bottle of Nuvo Shimmer Powder. This contains inside a combination of colored powder pigments and a very bright mica powder, which creates a metallic finish on our project. Being a powdered mica, to activate the color pigments, it is necessary to use liquid mediums, such as water or glues. For this reason, I will use some watercolor paper. I have shown a lot of techniques using Nuvo Shimmer Powder in the video of the Tonic Craft Kit number 35. I leave you the link above on the right and at the end of this video if you are interested. Back to us, let's see how to apply shimmer powder. First, I'm going to divide the sheet into 2 parts. One of the basic ways to apply shimmer powder is to spray some product here and there on the sheet. After that, I'm going to sprinkle some water with a spray and see that the pigments of various colors are activated. More water we apply, more the colors will dilute and mix with each other. The other method of using shimmer powder is to apply the powder to the wet surface. So I'm going to spray a lot of water on the sheet and I sprinkle the powder. These techniques will give quite unpredictable results because we don't have full control of the color movement. But that is the beauty of it if you like this particular effect. You can spread the pigment with the help of a brush or play with color by making the water move. Now I take the other half of the watercolor sheet and laying it on the one with the wet color, I print the image, creating in one time also another panel. We will have much more pale colors. Well, you can stop here or continue playing with the shimmer powder until you're satisfied with the result. If you have shimmer powders of other colors, of course you can mix them. With an embossing tool, I'm going to dry the panels. And here are the beautiful, colorful and super shiny result. From these panels you can get 4 background panels to create 4 different cards. I will be creating 2 cards using this background. For the first one, I get a 5¼ by 4 inches background panel. As always, I will use a card base using white cardstock in standard size, that's 4¼ by 5½ inches. Next, on the violet satin paper from the kit, I am going to make a 4¼ by 5½ panel, which will create the finishing edges of the background panel. Then I am going to create a nice ice cream, which will also contain the sentiment for my card. I'm going to die cut the ice cream base on the light blue pearlescent paper included in the kit, while for the inner layer I'm going to die cut on the violet satin paper using the smaller die of this ice cream together with the coordinated sentiment die. Then with the craft paper I'm going to create the popsicle stick. Now I can assemble my card. I'm going to glue the ice cream using some foam pad to give the card some dimension that I like. For the finishing touches, I decided to die cut a few stars with the die included in the kit. I make some with the pearlescent blue paper and a few with satin violet paper. I also add a few drops of vintage lilac drop included in the kit. And let's modify their look a little bit by sprinkling them with the shimmer powder. They will become a little bijou with a metallic finish. Also for the fifth card, I will use as a background a panel created with the shimmer powder. So I cut it out to form a 4 by 5¼ rectangle. Then I'm going to create another panel that is 4¼ by 5½ inches on the lilac classic card included in the kit, obtaining finishing borders for the background panel. Next, I'm going to create the card base on white cardstock, always in American A2 standard size. This card will be very essential, where the background will be the absolute protagonist. A very suitable design for this purpose involves using a sentiment large enough that will be highlighted by the particular background, but at the same time does not distract attention from it. I'm gonna use a sentiment from the Tonic Craft Kit number 22. In this case, in addition to the sentiment die, there is also a coordinated die to create a base. So I'm going to die cut the sentiment on the black mirror card with glossy finish. Look how beautiful it is. For the base I'm going to use vellum. thus creating a background for the sentiment that can define it by separating it from the background, but always with discretion. Now I can assemble the card, gluing all the elements. I removed the central part of the lilac panel just to save some paper. In any case, I'm going to glue some pieces of leftover cardstock just to keep nice and level. Well, now I just have to add some final details, creating a few drops of vintage lilac drops here and there. I also decided to glue some small crystals to give a touch of light to this simple and delicate card. The sixth card, unlike the previous one, will be a little more elaborate. I will take advantage of the thickness of the blister included in the kit to give you an idea how to create a window shaker card with surprise. So I make a panel out of light ivory cardstock that is 4 by 5.5 inches, on which I'm going to die cut the window with the medium die of the set. Now I'm going to make the ice cream, die cutting with the main die the background we created with the shimmer powder. So this is another way to use this medium. Create colorful elements. Then I'm gonna create the outlines of the ice cream on the violet satin mirror card. I glue the outlines on the blister and I'm going to cut out the excesses, otherwise they would remain visible because the violet outlines do not cover the outlines of the blister. Always with the background created with the shimmer powder, I also get the ice cream dripping. I'd like to make the color a little bit brighter, so I'm going to apply a little more shimmer powder. Now let's give our ice cream a kawaii style. In Japanese, it is an adjective that can be translated as adorable, cute. This style generally requires the subject to have a minute and essential portion with large, sparkling and super cute eyes. So with the dies included in the kit, I'm gonna create the eyes and the mouth of the ice cream, die cutting on black cardstock. For the mouth, I used the other die which creates a semicircle smile. After gluing everything with a white Nuvo crystal drop, I'm gonna create the characteristic light point of the kawaii eyes. With a pink Nuvo crystal drop, I'm going to create two cute cheeks. Look how cute it is! Now I'm going to create the popsicle stick using the special twist die cutting on the violet satin mirror card. Now I can assemble my kawaii ice cream shaker. Of course, before gluing the blister, I have to fill it with the shaker element. I will use a mix of confetti, including the heart ones that I got with the kit. Then I'm going to peel off the protective film, and I also apply some liquid glue so I'll have time to align the blister to the base of the ice cream. Now let's go back to the creation of the base of the card. So I'm going to prepare the card base on ivory cardstock in A2 standard size. For the background panel, I'm going to create side trim edges by cutting out two strips of light blue pearlescent paper. If I want to make a window shaker card, I also have to create the window on the card base. So I line up the background panel well and trace the outlines of the window on the card base. This way I know where to place the die. Now I'm going to glue the side edges directly on the card base. Cut out the excesses. And I'm gonna glue the main panel onto the card base. After that, I proceed to glue the ice cream inside the card, aligning the blister with the window on the front. Using the liquid glue, I have time to move the ice cream until I position it correctly. For the sentiment, I decided to use Stay Jolly, Have a Lolly from the stamp set included in the kit. I'm going to separate the sentence in two. I cover Have a Jolly with masking tape, dab the stamp with VersaFine ink Onyx Black, then I remove the masking tape and stamp Stay Jolly. Next, I'm going to heat embossing the sentiment with a clear embossing powder. I clean up the stamp and I proceed in the same way for the second part of the sentiment, Have a Jolly, covering with the masking tape Stay Jolly. I'm going to cut out the sentiment by forming two rectangles and leaving just a small white border around the sentiment. Finally, I'm gonna add some finishing edges of light blue pearlescent paper. Well, now I'm going to glue the first part of the sentiment "Stay Jolly" on the front of the card, while I'm going to glue "Have a Jolly" inside. I just have to glue the kawaii face of the ice cream. And add a few drops of vintage drop as a finishing touches. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed and got inspired. If so, let me know by leaving me a nice kawaii thumbs up and a comment if you'd like. In the next video we're gonna make 2 cards with a totally different style from the one proposed by the kit. Do you like vintage or shabby chic style? Thank you for stopping by. See you next time and be colorful!